Alright, welcome to the live stream for today's Monday window art. Today we're going to be doing this little project. I'll be doing the craft after I do the drawing portion of it, and then we'll go from there. So we can either do the craft or you can draw it, whichever you like. So we're going to wait for a few more people to join. So what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, you're going to need a pencil, a black marker, scissors, and glue if you're going to be doing the craft. If you're going to be drawing with me, then you're just going to need some white paper, your pencil, a black marker trace, some color pencils or crayons or paint or whatever medium you want to use for it. And if you want, you can cut out a heart shape that will fit on your piece of paper to trace and make a nice heart. So up to you. We're going to wait a few more minutes and then I'm going to go ahead and start. I was able to get my live stream on my computer. I logged into my art account, so hopefully I can see your comments and see who joins. But we'll see. So, happy Memorial Day, and thank you to all those who have fought for our country and fought for freedom. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. And this week we're going to have these on our windows to celebrate all of them. So, I'm going to wait a few more minutes. And then I will get started. I'm going to go ahead and cut out a heart so I can trace it, because I think that's going to be a little bit easier than trying to draw it freehand. You can draw it freehand if you'd like, but I think it'll be easier to do that with some paper. So let me see. Also, you can either do your drawing long or tall like a building, or you can turn it horizontally and do it this way. I'll leave that up to you. So if you're wondering why I'm making so much more noise, I'm just cutting out a heart so I can trace it. And I hope this will fit on my paper. I think it should. Yep. Alright. So, I'm going to wait one more minute and then I will start. Now, if you're drawing it out, you just need one piece of paper. I have a stack because there's like a divot right here on my desk. There's like a little mark. So if I put my pencil over it, then it makes a weird mark on my paper. So that's why I have that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna keep mine tall like a building. And then I'm gonna put my heart right in the center as best as I can. And now you can trace this with your pencil and then trace your pencil with the black marker, or you can go right ahead and just trace it. So I'm going to go ahead and trace with my pencil first. I'm going to hold it down in the middle, and I'm just going to go and trace. And as I'm doing this, I'm putting my fingers close to the edge that I am about to trace, because if it moves and the pencil goes under, then it's not going to be a heart. And you kind of want to do this lightly, but if you don't, that's okay. All right, so there is my heart. I do have a little lag on my end, so trying to see if you guys can see it. Okay, so you can kind of see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back in with my black marker, and I'm going to go ahead and trace it. And don't worry if you go outside of the lines, because we're going to go and erase those lines anyway. Just try to stay as close to them as possible, and you can go nice and slow. If you need to turn your paper, go ahead and do that too. Alright, so I've traced my heart with the black, and then I'm just going to go in and kind of erase and clean it up a little bit. So there we have our heart. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my color pencils. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write "Thank you, veterans" on my paper. So I'm going to turn my paper a little bit because it's easier this way. And I'm going to write the letters T, H, A, N, K, and then Y, O, U, and then I'm going to go to the bottom and write "veterans." And try to match it up with your A. So I'm going to put my V right here. That way it's going to be centered. E, T, E, R, A, N, S, and an exclamation point. I'm going to do a little heart on the bottom. And then the thing that I like to do to make it kind of look a little fancy is I like to put some dots on the ends of my letters. And that just kind of makes it cute. So I've done all my dots. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pencil again. And you might need a ruler or some kind of straight edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line down like this. So I'm going to go about the middle. So I'm going to mark it right here. And I'm just going to go down to there. So this is kind of like the middle of the heart. Okay, so I'm drawing a line, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line across. Now, let's see. But I'm going to do a straight line this way, all the way across. Okay. Whoops. Totally did not do that. Okay, let's try again. Probably got the middle part. Alright, there we go. So this part is going to be blue. Now we need 13 stripes. So let's see. I'm gonna go back to the middle of this line. Try to find the middle line as best as you can. And I'm gonna draw another straight line, except I'm only going from here. We're not gonna cross into it. So we're gonna go across like this. So there's one. And then we're gonna come down here and we'll do another line straight across from about here. So essentially we're trying to divide up this heart as best as we can. Try to keep your lines straight. I know that can be kind of hard. So let's see. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so these are going to have to be a little bit thinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark where I'm going to be putting my lines. So I'm going to do one here, about here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines here. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. That might be too close actually. See, this is why we do it in pencil, because if we mess up, we can always do it over. Okay, so let me erase these. So we're gonna do 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to come here because this is the widest. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so that should give us 13 stripes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make this as straight as possible. And I think that's where my line is. So I'm going to go here, across, and then the next one. Okay, so there's my 3, and then, let's see, 4. Five. Oh, I put that on the wrong side. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's see, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, we did it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to trace it with our black marker. So I'm going to go ahead and start on this line. And you can use your ruler again if you want, but I'm just going to trace what I have. Okay. Now the trick to doing really smooth lines across is don't move your wrist like this to draw your lines. Move your whole arm and your wrist from your shoulders. Then you should be able to draw some pretty straight lines. So you're basically just gliding your hand across your paper. So you're going to start and try to use your whole arm across. And it's relatively straight. Okay, so let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Awesome. 1 for each of the colonies. Okay. So now you can grab your markers, your color pencils. I'm actually going to switch to my marker for the stripes, and then I'm going to do color pencil for the blue. So I'm going to go ahead and color. So if you want to make sure you're going to color the right ones, the right color, I like to just make a mark. So red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, and red. So then I'm going to go ahead and, as best as I can, I'm going to try to stay inside the lines. Okay. And color it in. So again, you can use whatever coloring tools you'd like to use. And I know with markers, sometimes this is what happens. But it's okay. So depending on time, I might have to do a second live stream for the craft portion. But we shall see. I think I'm doing okay for right now, but you never know. It's like a race. But you guys have to take your time when you're coloring and when you're drawing, because you want your lines to be nice, you want your coloring to be your best. So I'm just trying to color a little bit at a time. Don't try to color the whole thing all at once, because that is harder. And your coloring could look a little streaky. Almost done. Last stripe. Okay. And there is my completed stripes. Now for the blue, you can do one of two things. The first thing you can do is you could color it with a marker. That might work, it might not. Let me see where my markers went. Or you can do this other method where you use your white crayon and you make your dots in here. You don't have to do 50. If you want, you can try. But you can do some dots with some white crayons. Then if you have watercolor, you can go over it and paint it with blue watercolor and the white will show. That's a cute, cool trick. I don't know if that's going to work with markers, but you can try. I'm going to try something real quick off camera to see if it'll work before testing it on here. I'm going to need a white piece of paper. If it works, this is what we'll do. I'll use two different blues. So I'll be using like a similar method for the stars on this flag, but I don't know if it's going to work. So let's test it. Okay, it works. So I am going to show you how to do something similar but with markers. So I got my blue marker and I'm going to color the whole square white. Or, oh my goodness. Can't talk. Blue. So I'm going to start at the top. Remember, just do little by little. Because if you're doing it with marker, it can leave some streaks or you can go outside the lines like that. So you want to be very careful. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some straight coloring, just like I did with my stripes. And then I'm going to go over it one more time, just so that you don't really see the stripes. So if you've noticed, I'm using the side of my marker because that will cover more space than if I just do the tip. Okay, so I'm done with the first pass. Go back and do a second pass. And then you don't want to color it too much or else it's gonna rip your paper. So just do probably 2 passes and then let it dry a little, because if it's wet, it's not gonna work. So I'm just going to let that dry. I don't want to go over it one more time because it's definitely going to rip. So I'm going to try to dry it. Yes, I'm using a fan. I think that's okay. Okay, so again, I'm not going to do all 50 stars because there's not enough room. I'm going to start at the top. It's still a little wet up here. But what you're going to do, let me see if I can sharpen my color pencil. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to do a plus sign. And you might have to do a few passes. And then you're going to do an X. So it's a plus and an X. So there's one. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can kind of see it. And then I'm going to leave like a finger space and do another plus. So I'm just going to do some pluses right now, all the way across. And then the next row, you're going to go in between that space. And here, here, there. Okay, so you can kind of see all my pluses. Now I'm going to go back and put in the X's, so they kind of look like snowflakes. If you know how to do your stars, you can also do stars. is getting very short. I probably need to get a pencil extender for this because it is uncomfortable to try to draw with. Alright. If you want to use glitter for the stars, you can do that too. I'm not going to. I'm not a very big fan of glitter, so. Alright, and there you have it. That is going to be your window art for this week. So, it looks like I have a few minutes. We'll see if I can do the craft version of this. So for the craft version of this, you're going to need a red piece of paper. You're also going to need blue. You're going to need yellow. And you're going to need white. So let me find the dimensions of the red piece of paper you need. It's going to be 6 by 9 inches. So it's going to be roughly like that size. For the red, not blue. For the blue, you're only going to need a small piece. But the red, that's how big that's going to be. So let me grab that piece of paper. And I'm actually going to go kind of quickly with this one just because of time. So let's go ahead and try to do it. So I have my yellow piece of paper. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my red piece of paper to that size. So again, it's 6 by 9 inches for the red piece. Okay, and you can save the other half for something else. So, all right. So what you're going to do with this red piece is you're going to fold it in half. Make sure you match up your sides before folding. So we're basically going to cut out a heart. Okay, so grab your scissors. You can draw out that C shape or you can just cut it. Okay, so I'm going to trim off, that's a lot of corners there. Try to make it nice and round, and when you open it, you have something like that. I'm actually going to cut this part a little bit more. There we go, that looks better. Okay, so we have that. We're not gluing it yet. You're going to grab your blue piece of paper. I'm actually going to fold this in half. So this was also the 6 by 9, but I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, and I'm not going to fold it, but I'm going to put that right up against that center line of that fold, and we're just going to glue it right there. So I'm going to grab my glue. Oops, I got on my fingers. And then we're going to kind of eyeball where it was and glue it like that. Okay. So, again, you're going to put it down on top of the glue. You're going to match it up to the inside crease line. And you're going to press down. So when we turn it over, it looks like that. Okay. Once you have that corner down, you're going to flip it over and you're going to cut the excess off. And there you have your square portion of your flag. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get your white piece of paper. Okay. And you're going to cut strips this way. So make sure your strips are kind of thin. Maybe it's going to be about a 1 finger width. So it's a finger width. So try to do maybe 13 of those. So to do that, you can put it up against the edge of your paper and just mark it like that, and then you can cut strips. That's the other method. I'm just going to cut some strips. You're going to need 6. And try to cut it as straight as possible. I know I'm not doing that, but just do your best. All right. And now what you're going to do is you're going to start gluing it. So I'm just going to do a very light gluing. I'm going to put one here first, like that. Okay. And then you can kind of place your strips on here to see if you have enough. You might need to cut them down a little more, but I think you should be okay. Barely. So, this one I'm going to cut a little bit thinner just because there's not a lot of space at the top. And you don't even have to cut the whole strip. You can cut just a little bit of it and glue that right there. So, go ahead and put some glue down, and we're going to put that there like that. And then same thing with this one. You're going to put some glue. As long as there's some red showing, you should be okay. And you're going to keep doing that for the remainder of the heart. Okay, this one you want to match up with the base of your the blue part, because it is an extension. Whoops. So, see, I made a mistake. So, I'm going to take your long one and do it all the way across, following this line. And again, mine isn't straight because I didn't cut it straight. So, try to cut yours a little straight. And then you're just going to go across like that. So, there it is. I'm going to cut this one a little bit thinner. Put that right there. And then I'm actually going to cut this one off because it's nice and thin, and glue that one right there. And this is what it should look like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do what we did with the blue. We're going to flip it over, and you're just going to follow the heart that you cut out and just cut off these strips. And then for this one, you can fold it and this off. That makes it easier. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this right in the center of my yellow paper. That way it'll stick out. And it's about right there. And again, for the stars, you don't need 50. Just do as many as you can. You can do glitter if you'd like. Whiteout, gel pens, anything. So before I forget, I'm going to grab my black marker and write the words "Thank you, veterans" one more time. Oops. Okay, and again, I like to do the little dots on the ends of my letters. And I do see that someone has joined. I don't know who, because the computer Instagram doesn't tell me. But welcome, first of all, and don't worry, I will post this right after on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it. But we are celebrating Veterans Day this week, and I've done the craft version. I've also done the drawing version, so you have two versions that you can check out later, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. But it should be up before the end of the day. So I'm going to go ahead, and for this one, I'm just going to do some circles. But I'm going to do the same kind of thing where I'm spacing them out. And then they're going to be, the next row will be in the middle, like that. Because that just makes it easier. All right. And there you have it. That is the window art for this week. So you can either do this craft version or you can do the drawn out version, whichever you feel like. You could do both. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will go ahead and download this Instagram live stream and get on posting it onto my YouTube channel. So, as always, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying sane. I know they're reopening things little by little here in Newport Beach, so hopefully we'll all be able to get to see each other again, go places, hang out. Might not be the new normal, but, you know, little by little. So stay safe, make sure you wash your hands. Hope you're having fun, and I will see you next time. Bye!